So I'm making this video on my phone with absolutely crappy resolution because I felt like, and I've started to really dumb down on trying to make these super amazing quality videos and just come out with volume. And this is something that has really, really bothered me. It's honestly a big thing of stress that I just need to get off my chest. And it's something of me just sharing my experience with, honestly, the game and a lot of what I know. So, I'm gonna really clarify what I mean by this, because I'm not really explaining it well. But I've been around the game since 2015, and one of the biggest things was because the game was so new and there wasn't any translatable skill. There was no foundation. There was no firm foundation through which you could be like, oh, okay, well, this is the position that you need to look at. This is something that you need to do when these conditions are met, that you do this movement and stuff like that. So in my head for years, I always wondered, okay, what do I do in this situation? Well, how do I go and I do this? What's the best thing that calls for this? And literally, for years, trial and error, Rocket League, I got on and it was, okay, now we're going to try, instead of second man, I'm going to try and run it like this. And I would play test it, and I did it for years. I tried it in tournaments. I tried everything, and I got also other coaches and spoke to them as well on how to do this. People like Coach Curtis and honestly Rams from Veloce Esports was pretty much the guy who kind of made me assemble it all once he told me a concept called zones of responsibility. At that point, I kind of connected the dots, and that was the real stepping stone for me, the giant leap for me to eventually just get it all together. But what I'm experiencing right now is something where I'm on an uphill battle, because what I've experienced in so far of me coming out with content is that the people, so there's two kinds of people. There's the people that are very open-minded, who look at my stuff and they have they have doubt in the system, and they go and they ask me questions nicely. They ask me questions and I go and I respond to them about, hey, well, this is what you're talking about, and I try to clarify to understand what they're saying, and then I respond back constructively, and it becomes very much a two-way discussion that's very respectful. Other times it's just people that are just like, oh, okay, well, you're just mentally ill. At that point I'm like, okay, sure, got it. But there's those people that are very that have the skepticism, right? And they interact, right? And then there's people that have the skepticism but then just blatantly shoot it down. And I think that honestly, the people that listen to information and then immediately shoot it down because they have some sort of predisposition to information beforehand is one of the stupidest, most, it's not open-minded. It is true that it's not open-minded, but it's honestly one of the dumbest things to come with a predisposed viewpoint, right? And for it to be challenged and you to take offense on it. I think that's one of the dumbest fucking things ever that I have to deal with, because I don't want to sit there and fight belief systems and values if we're talking advice, right? But now there's the third part. There's the third unseen part, which I didn't see this beforehand on coaching, which was there are people that just don't know what they don't know. There are the people that are very, they look at information from coaching and YouTube on what I need to do in order to, how do I get better, right? And they go and they look on Verge's channel, they look on Spook Luke's channel, they look on Wait and Pilkin, they look on Musty, and they look at these tips and tricks and these guides videos, they look on Squishy Muffin stuff, because I did that, right? I didn't look at Wait and stuff or Spook Luke or stuff, because I had already pretty much developed the system by that. But I had watched a lot of pro POV to kind of, okay, what is he looking at here that I'm not seeing? Just play like AJ, something, you know what I mean? Till I eventually go, oh, okay, well, I just do this. Oh, well, I need to have my teammates do this. But it's very hard to do that. I had to basically, there was a jigsaw puzzle of the position, And in order to fit the pieces, I had to create the fucking pieces and then fit them together. I didn't have these just set pieces and then figure it out. I had to fucking mold them and then create it until eventually the puzzle fit. I had to fucking walk through trial of fire of just sitting at home, and I made the game my life, right? And now I finally have something where I can go and teach people this, and then to get immediately shot down by some guy with some predisposed, oh no, but that ain't right, but I know better, and this guy is fucking a quarter of my hours. Just honestly, I'm offended. I'm 100% offended. You know, there is I got a guy that's hooded. You know, it's like, what the fuck's he doing? He was walking around. He's in front of his house, so I shouldn't worry about it. You know, but I'm honestly offended by that, because I went through so fucking much work to finally figure it out, to have somebody just go, yeah, fuck you, we don't like you. That's what it is. So that has nothing to do with the information. It's just, yeah, well, I don't like this, but yeah, and you're completely wrong. You know, like, as if to say that anything that I say, it may not be completely right? You could shoot it down, but at least there's a shred of truth in there somewhere, and you're not going to look for that? You're just going to say no? Okay, well, you know, we know that those people aren't worth fighting over, okay? So we're gonna look for option 2 and 3, which is essentially the people that are open-minded and are skeptic, but they want to discuss it. And there are people that also, the ones that don't know any better. So, you know, and that's where my personal experience comes in, where, you know, I had looked, and I'd been through, I was a player, dude. I've been through everything that you guys have essentially been through. I've been through it all. I've done it. I've been down that road, you know, and to listen to people that give tips on mechanics or stuff, it's like, yeah, that's good, but the majority of it right now is stuff where people run a layer, right? Their second man's out of position, so then that means you can't link with extension because your third man is having to, you know, compensate and play a square 50 into the 1-3, which you never get any traction out of that, right? So you never create an offense, essentially. You never get to force, you know, 2v1s, right? Force high or low against the defender, force people out by drawing them in, which is the very fundamentals of soccer and hockey and basketball and every other sport. But in Rocket League, I'm laughed at for some reason, because people just want to laugh at me. Okay, right? So, you know, so second man is all wrong because people run layers. Thank you, Verge. You've now taught people to do the very wrong thing that I've been reversing for so long, right? I've been reversing it. Wait, and you're still part of this. I'm making a public statement, guys. I don't care if this is slander. You want to fucking take me to court on this. It's not slander because I'm not talking shit. I've proven why it doesn't work. It really doesn't. And you guys are creating a trend where every time I log into ranked, I'm dealing with the exact same problems and the exact same positional nuances that I know everything that's going to go down. I know I know what I need to do in order to make it. And sometimes I can't make it work. I can't outplay the 2v1 sometimes, you know, and to make it to where, you know, I have to mechanically be so much better that I can't play fun Rocket League is like, I played soccer at the highest level. The higher the level I went, the easier it was. The less running I had to do, and the more fun it felt, because it was more of a chess match in your brain. Like, oh, okay, this guy was drawn out, so that means this space is open, so I get to ping pong it, and everyone was on the same boat. We're talking an 11-player, 10-player, right, because the goalkeeper's 11th, right, 10-player fucking ping ponging it around, and sometimes they would be like, okay, well, they compensated for this mistake here, so, you know, now we would play this mini chess match up and down the field. It was fucking awesome. It was so fun. Rocket League can be the same, but I can't get people on the same boat, because if I try to talk to people and get, hey, if you're second man, I need you back. You're forcing me into 2v1. They go fuck yourself. You suck. You're washed. Your peak is 1500, even though I'm wearing an SSL Season 6 Supersonic Legend tag, which clearly means it wasn't my peak, but okay, it's my peak, you know? And I feel that I'm fighting an uphill battle, because I'm fighting these influencers who don't talk about this, who openly endorse the layer, who release coaching content, and even the smaller guys that I'm not naming, right, who openly release coaching content that don't talk about why you're doing the oh shit rotation, the 1 to 3, and how you need to link up with your second, and what the first man needs to do, and how he needs to play target, and how you need to handle your boost and your eco, and every decision from dealing with, transition into offense, going into your own half, or initially going out from a big clear, and how to spread out, and what you need to look for, and what the low elo mistakes are. Nobody talks about this. It's just, I'm muscle on muscle, like, who overextends first, and it's ugly, dude. It's ugly. This isn't how the game is supposed to be played. And I've been dealing with it for 4 years. I've been coaching since 2020. That's when I first released my video on my channel, which was my Professional's Guide to Rotations video, and I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of dealing with these content creators who have so much more outreach than me, right? That are openly coaching the wrong thing. Or they're trying to band-aid a symptom rather than get to the root cause, which is your guy was just simply running a layer, right? It's not that his mechanics are bad, it's just his positioning's fucking horrible, so then his mechanics suffer. And sometimes he mechanically could do something insane to compensate for it, but most of the time they're not. So even then, no matter how good you are, you leave a higher margin of error for you to make a mistake because you're having to mechanically compensate for something that shouldn't even happen had you not fucking ran a layer, or had your 1 to 3 just rotated back the way he should, had your first man been, the passing option to your second and played that target player correctly, had your second not pushed up so far on defense or on offense that now he can't use the wall, and now he's stuck in no man's lane, so now he's partly running the layer. I mean, it's the same shit over and over and over, dude, for 4 fucking years. I'm so over it, man. I'm so over it. I'm so done with shitty content creators, guys that literally just create clickbait. And to every person that's going to watch those videos and think, oh, okay, that's good, I'd say partly you don't see what you don't see, but also it's your own fault to an extent, because you're not digging deeper into really truth. And the people that do really dig deep, they end up finding my channel somewhere. They give me a shot. Those are open-minded, to a guy that only has 300 views, and they look at my stuff and they go, wow, okay, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. And then they listen, and then, we end up having a discussion, and I explain to them what's going on, and they're like, wow, this makes sense. I can't believe, your stuff isn't viral. It's like, yeah, I don't know either, but you know what? I have to fight against these guys that just release the tips and tricks videos for the millionth time because they don't fucking understand, dude, because they don't fucking know. Man, and I'm annoyed, and I'm angry. I've been dealing with this for 4 years. I'm angry that every time I open the ball, open the game, it's the same problems. I'm angry that that me being vocal is causing offense to some fucking stupid 12-year-old who's never fucking worked a job to have some sort of constructive criticism to understand I'm not being a dick. Fuck, man. It's burnt me out. It burnt me out of the game. It burnt me out of a pro career out of this. I didn't want to pursue it. Now, people that were below me are now fucking going into RLCS, dude. It burnt me out. And I said, fuck it. I don't want to do it anymore. And I was right on the verge of saying, I'm done, until I got fucking RLU that said, we need a coach. And I said, fuck it. Well, I guess I'm going back into the party, But I still got to fight these guys. I got to reverse everything. And it's nonstop because the game's free to play. There's tons of new players that come in. And there's people that are 2,000 hours. It's never, I've never seen it. It wasn't as bad as it was before. But now because the game is free to play, there's so many new players that are coming in. I can't keep up with it. And honestly, I want out. I'm burnt out of seeing the same thing. Dealing with the same repeat patterns. I don't treat my anger as a little mini devil behind someone's shoulder. I lean in a lot into Eastern philosophy. I believe anger is a gift, right? And before we get into that, it's not to say that this quote came from Rasha, the book Oneness. It said it's not that your anger is the obstacle to your spiritual progress, but rather it's the unbridled expression of such emotions that leads to, paraphrasing here now, a calculated manifestation of adverse experiences that are designed to let go of that emotional charge. And this is done of your own free will at a soul level, you know? So to a degree, my spiritual progress is to let go of this, you know? And this helps with that. These videos help with that, you know? But I also think that, you know, it's not that, you know, and there's another sin from the Bible. It's in Proverbs. It says, you know, essentially it's not that anger is a sin. It's that acting from it is, right? I'm paraphrasing. It's somewhere. You know, so you guys get where I'm coming from. I'm saying that anger in itself is beautiful, because as soon as you can accept it fully, you alchemize it. You know, as soon as you accept anger fully, it becomes a thing where you love that, and it's a gift, and then it turns into something else that, rather than trying to, what you resist persists. So rather than me trying to fight anger with anger, it becomes a kind of a greet it at the door, and you allow it to pass, and then it goes on its way. You know, so I'm not saying to sit there and to you know, abide by your anger, right? Because we've seen the depths of where that goes in human history. I mean, tons of atrocities have been done through murders and smaller things of people that were so angry that they let their anger get the best of them, right? But I'm saying that the truth in the anger and my frustration, I think, is absolutely valid. You know, that I have to deal with this, and everyone does. Everyone does, not just me. Everyone does as a player, because I'm a player too. I've been a player for 2015, since the game's fucking release in August. It's when I fucking downloaded that game. You know? So I don't think for a second that my frustration should be viewed with negativity and should be fought with more negativity. What kind of sense does that make? You know, you're going to fight my negativity. You're just going to feed into it. You know what I'm saying? How does that work out for both of us? You know, but people will go and comment on their stuff and fucking negative comment this, negative that, mentally ill. You know, you're wrong about this, and try to make it a fucking joust. What good does this do? It's not fucking productive. You know, the problem is still the problem. I'm still burnt out, man. I'm trying to stick with RLU. Maybe I can put a dent in this, man, but I'm fucking over it, bro. I'm out.